4 regrets people say most at the very end of their lives, and the quiet reasons we all keep making them long before we ever learn better. Living for everyone else. The single most common regret of the dying is this: I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life everyone else expected of me. And it rarely feels like a decision. It feels like a slow drift. You take the safe job because it's sensible. You chase the milestones because everyone around you is chasing them. You slowly become the version of yourself that keeps other people comfortable. Psychologists have a name for the pull behind it: social conformity. Your brain is wired to crave approval because for most of human history, being cast out of the group meant death. So you trade your own dreams for belonging, one small choice at a time, and you barely notice the swap. Then, at the very end, the noise of everyone else's opinions finally goes quiet. And in that silence, people see with painful clarity how many of their dreams went unlived because of choices they made or were too afraid to make. Most hadn't honored even half of them. The life true to yourself was never the risky one. The risky one was the life you lived to keep everyone else calm. Working too hard. This regret came from nearly every person, and most sharply from those who spent their lives providing. They didn't regret being ambitious. They regretted what the ambition quietly cost them. The childhoods they were too busy to be present for. The partner who slowly became a stranger sharing a calendar. Here's the trap your mind falls into. The brain treats work as urgent and family as permanent, always assuming there will be time for the people you love later. So the deadlines win today and today and today, until later never actually arrives. You tell yourself you're doing it all for them, and you miss them while you do it. At the end, not one person wished they had spent more hours at the office. They wished they'd been there for the ordinary evenings they kept trading away. The dinners, the bedtimes, the small, unremarkable days that turned out to be the whole point. Work felt like the thing that couldn't wait. The people were the thing that couldn't. Staying silent? So many people wish they'd had the courage to express how they really felt. To keep the peace, most of them swallowed it. The apology they never made. The love they never said out loud. The truth they softened and softened until it disappeared. It feels like kindness in the moment. It's usually just fear. Your brain is loss averse. It's wired to avoid the risk of rejection far more strongly than it chases the reward of being honest. So silence feels safe, and the words stay stuck in your chest. But those unspoken feelings don't simply vanish. They settle into the body, and researchers link that kind of long-term bottling up to real strain on your health. Holding it in has a physical price, and the relationships you were trying to protect never got the chance to become real because you only ever showed people the safe, edited version of you. At the end, people rarely regret the honest things they said. They regret the years they stayed quiet and the closeness that silence quietly cost them. You stayed silent to keep the peace. The silence is what you lost the most to. Never letting yourself be happy. It's the regret that surprises people most because so many only realized at the very end that happiness had been a choice all along. They had stayed stuck in old patterns and old habits, in a life that was familiar but gray, mistaking comfort for contentment. Your brain is built for exactly this trap. It craves the familiar, even when the familiar quietly makes you miserable, because the known always feels safer than the unknown. So people pretended, to others and to themselves, that they were fine. They didn't let themselves laugh too loudly, or be silly, or chase the thing that actually lit them up. Fear of what other people might think kept them small. Then, facing the end, they finally saw it. Happiness was never waiting on the far side of one more achievement. It was available on almost any ordinary day they'd been too afraid to fully live.
You don't have to wait until the end to learn this one. Happiness was never something you had to earn. It was something you kept giving yourself permission to postpone.
4 regrets. 1 life. You don't have to wait until the end to learn them.